What up, what up? You know what it is? It's quite a one big deal. D.L.E radio. It's us, it's we, it's D.L.E. It's been some time, for me to be able to come outside and touch base with the artists and CEOs and, movie makers and the shakers and the breakers and heartbreakers and stuff like that. So I was in the mix this week and man, something just kind of like came over. Shout out to my homie Scott Morris, big dude, man. I call him big dude because he move a lot. He's a little dude, but he move around a lot. And he always think of me, man. And today, we in the middle of Atlanta right now, Midtown, and I got a visit by the homie. I will say this. It was hard for me to even say that I was going to, because I wanted to go by your gov. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Right. And I'm like, damn, how can I say? Because it's hard for me to say. So it was a guy that I used to work with. And what did they call him? They called him, oh man, I forgot the name, Papa or something like that. And I said, I ain't calling no other man Papa or something like that. But then when I thought about the way their relationship is, they've been around each other long enough to understand their dynamic, But I will say this today because the vibe I got off of you was very solid, bro. And I know for sure I probably was the one that was getting things misconstrued with my time frame because I know what time I gotta pick up my family and everything. But listen, man, we here with no other than the homie Gorgeous. I want to say New York born or New York raised and Vegas afterwards or something like that.
So
Mm-hmm.
born and raised in L.A.
Okay.
My first city on the East Coast was D.C.
Was DC.
But where I actually lived on the East Coast was D.C. and New York.
Okay.
New York gave me a home field though.
So was it like Brooklyn or something like that?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just doing some homework on you and you well-rounded, man. You really get around. I know you work with, a lot of different artists. You got Spark Dog that you work with. I'm gonna get into the artists too that you've been, working with. Spark Dog, Breadwinner Kane, even this joint that I this young man named Red Vegas. The kid is dope. I ain't gonna lie, kid dope, right? And when I seen what he was doing, and I seen you in the vehicle with him, it reminded me of myself because right now, like I'm an artist, but I fell back from being an artist because I seen what's going on out here in this industry and I wanted to help the artists, coming up behind me. But I seen something when I seen you in the vid chilling with him. I'm like, yo, that gotta be him because you're in the vid with him in the car and everything. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on, brother, but you're doing some good stuff, man. Very international too. I see that. I'm seeing this Gorgeous Musique doing this, doing that. You in Canada, you all over the place with it. So, first thing first, man, I want to talk about is Gorgeous Musique, and then we're gonna talk about the clothing brand. And I want to ask you, where's your strength coming from? And what I mean by that is what's making you continue to put your foot on the neck of the industry to get your peoples where you trying to get them to go. Because right now you fresh off the We Outside tour right now. Am I right?
So no, the We Outside tour is coming.
Okay. That's what I was. July
4th is when it starts.
Okay. So yeah, you got a nice lineup, man. You got a nice lineup. So let's start with this. For those of some of my East Coast people that might be like me and just want to know more about you. Give me your upbringing, fam. I know you said you was born and raised over in LA. So, what area? Where you get your strength from?
I feel like so for LA, I actually lived all over LA. Like literally like Pasadena, Hawthorne, South Central. Like I lived all over LA, Inglewood. I lived in Watts. You know what I'm saying? So I literally lived all over LA in real time. I got a chance to experience a lot of LA.
Okay.
I went to Crenshaw, I went to Fairfax, I went to Hamilton, I went to Jordan and Watts. I went to all my schools I went to in LA.
Okay.
So, but like I said, I got a chance to experience different parts. There's schools in different parts.
Yeah. That's kind of like how I was telling you about, me in Jersey. I lived all over New Jersey. I can't, like, when people sometimes I think that's why you didn't tell me a specific city when we was talking about where you was from or where you was born and raised. Because for me, I can't say just Jersey City. You notice I was like Jersey City, East Orange.
Nah, LA is it. But see, this is the thing, for those that are from LA, they gonna say where. So now I'm gonna say the cities for the people that know. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, where you was at in LA? He just said LA. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what schools you went to? Oh, he went to them schools. Okay, now y'all connected. You know what I'm saying? So, like I tell everybody, nah, I'm from LA. When it came to the music, I started the music in DC.
Okay.
I started everything. I started my side of the business in DC. I took interest to the music starting in Vegas. So that's why I wind up returning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, LA, I feel like I never really got a chance to take no interest to the music like that in reference to LA. Because everything was early.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Everything was early.
I got you.
So when I really wanted to get into the business world, that's where I started at. Music.
Okay. Now, you get over here to DC. What took you to saying, hey, I want to get involved in music? What sparked that?
My business manager.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I want to do something. I want to get into something. What should I do? And he was talking about the music industry, and I'm like, let's do it. And that's
you just was like, okay, let's. Now, was you always like into rap? Like was you always like what? At this time, who was you looking at as far as influences as for wanting to get into rap or hip hop? You have become the CEO. Because I didn't see like you doing music yourself, right? I believe you was an artist yourself at some point. No? So it's just been you.
I wasn't a failed artist.
See?
That decided to want to do the music side and had all the answers that I didn't have for myself.
Word.
I was not one of those guys.
Word.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
I was not.
So give me at this point of your time, what was you listening to that made you say, you know what, I want to jump into it with your business partner?
So I mean, it wasn't so much as jumping into it with him, it was something of wanting to do. Now, I've always been big on business.
Okay.
I've always been big on business, so it wasn't never so much as just wanting to do this or just wanting to do that. I've always been big on business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And as we get into the different sectors of It's Gorgeous, then that's when it'll make sense of where this came from and where that came from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I've always been always been big on business.
Yeah, because I know you were saying, like, even with the clothing brand, it's something that just popped out of nowhere. Like, it just came out of nowhere and you was like, I'm doing this. And I know that's another business move for you, so just a straight hustler? Is that what it is?
Well, on the clothing side, I was working with a clothing brand. I was actually buying the merch from them and everything, and I took their brand to DC.
Okay.
And they wouldn't really back it or support it or nothing. It rubbed wrong. Said, you really didn't have to do anything. I was spending my own money buying this stuff,
anyway,
promoting it, I was campaigning it. You know what I'm saying? I was shining a light on it in a whole new market, but I didn't get the support from you I needed.
You just needed that machine.
Pay for my own stuff,
right?
And did my own stuff in comparison to doing this for somebody else,
right?
It's Gorgeous Cloth.
Okay. I know, I get that. I completely get it, because even right now, I randomly one day just, I don't know what it was, man. One day I just sat there, I started to want to do hats. Came up with an idea and just wanted to put it together. It wasn't like nobody told me to do it, I just kind of did it. And same thing. I was looking for some backing and whatever, but you know, it's to the point now where I'm starting to understand the politics of the fashion industry. You know, so I could only imagine what you're saying, like, you know, having to, you know, you actually going to somebody and like, look, man, this is what I got. I'm already set up. You know, I just need you for this, and them not backing you up.
Nah. It's better than that.
Oh, word.
It's like me coming to you and saying, hey, I'm gonna buy 30 hats from you. I'm about to take these hats to Miami, and I'm about to campaign your hats. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. I'm gonna send you pictures of it and this and that, and let's do this, let's do that. And you won't even back that.
Sure. So that's basically saying, look, I'm gonna be the brand ambassador. I'm gonna do everything for you. Just back me up on doing that.
Yeah, because I knew that I was fresh in the game. So I wanted my artists to have sponsors. I wanted my artists to have endorsements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's dope.
I was willing to
ahead.
Yeah, I was willing to bite the bullet early, you know what I'm saying, to be the individual. It wasn't never about always highlighting It's Gorgeous.
Right.
A lot of times people have taken that because it's gotten to that point now, but it never was always about that. It was like, hey, I'm highlighting other people. They don't even appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm paying for this highlight. You know what I'm saying?
You putting the work in, and it is, So here's the crazy thing. It's similar to, I've done some interviews with some artists, did all the work for them, put everything together. They're not known artists, and they won't push the interview on their own. You know what I mean? Like, I could put it out there, get it out on the net, social media. For some reason, they won't. And that's not just one. It's like, it's not just me. I'm noticing that with other media outlets. Some of these artists won't push their own stuff. And it's,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's I don't get where it come from. I don't know. I don't even what you're saying with the like. I don't understand why not. You see somebody out here willing to push your brand, pushing your brand and trying to push the envelope for you, and you're not making an initiative to say, you know what? Well, if you're gonna do that, here, take this with you. Let me give you this so you can, you know, let us set you up with where you going? You're going to Miami. All right, bet. We're going to set you up with housing, you know, lodging, whatever. We set you up with this. You know, things to make it easier for you to, a billboard, a walking billboard for them, you know? So, all right. So you get into the music, you get into the clothing stuff, and where did It's Gorgeous come from?
Like the name?
The name.
Wasn't a better way to explain nothing.
Say that again?
Wasn't a better way to explain nothing.
I
wanted you to feel what kind of energy we was coming with every single time you heard the name.
I like it. Okay.
There's nothing ugly. There's nothing rusty. There's nothing. You don't have not a negative thought in your mind when you hear It's Gorgeous.
You were thinking universal. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, don't have nothing. That's why I tell people I'm not about a genre or a color or nothing like that. I'm about doing business.
Yeah.
So I'm building a company and a brand for the people.
Yeah.
The people don't have a color.
Yeah.
The people is the people.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. I got you. Something very far from.
But we can't forget the musique.
Yeah. No, I know.
We're gonna get into.
We're gonna get into all that. Cause I know you got
where that came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you got a couple things. You got It's Gorgeous Musique. You got, of course, the clothing brand. You also have you doing something for the kids too. I seen It's Gorgeous. What is it?
Only the beginning. It's Gorgeous Kids. Yeah.
So I know you're doing a lot. I feel like your entity is more of a. And that's basically what I was saying, universal thing for whatever you find to be talent or, you know, something that you want to get behind. You are one of those off ones. And what I mean by that is people call me that by saying, hey, you know, you don't get that here where somebody actually wants better for the culture or want to push the culture in a more positive way. Most of everything that I've seen of you You were very solid, stand up. I can sense that you want best for things. Like, you know how you can read people's energy?
I'll give you a sideline trick or thing to me. A lot of people don't understand that, like, I'm just a factual person. And when I say something, I want the people to remember that they can quote me on it. They can get me to stand behind that. Okay. Everything else is blurry.
Yeah.
Everything else is blurry. So it's like, people say, well, you don't never back out of stuff and shut stuff down and this and that. You already told the people you was gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do the people get a chance to trust your word?
Yeah.
How do the people get a chance to take your word for something? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you tell the people you're gonna do something, whatever you gotta do to make it happen,
you gotta make it happen.
You already said you're gonna do it. You should have never said you was gonna do it.
Yeah, you gotta sit there.
You chose that. You thought about it. You said, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah.
So go ahead, let's do it.
So I leave that to say too, you know, when you say that, I think about what you leave behind when you're gone. That's whether you're in the building or even just me and you sitting here talking, or the people that's watching. When you get up from that seat and this camera cut off, what I like to do myself, because I'm similar, I want to make sure something stuck in their head, you know, it's something that I said, something that I asked, you know, because most people, they sit down, they want to talk about drama. You know, they want to talk about beefs, stuff like that. Even if the artists want to talk about it, I kind of shy them away from it. Because I feel like, yo, I want these people to get to know who you are, like you and you only. Because I know for me as an artist, I don't want people to relate to me as, oh yeah, he the one that, you know, got beef with this person, you know, and this is the only reason why I'm going to this person. But you got so much stuff going on with you. And I think that's very interesting for other people to want to dig into. So, of course, like we said, you know, the We Outside tour that's coming up in June, you know, it's Gorgeous Musique, it's Gorgeous Clothing. It's gorgeous clothing or apparel?
Cloth.
Cloth? That's dope. Even how you walked in today, bro, I was looking, I was like, let's just do it smooth, man. I fuck with it, yo. I fuck with it. You know,
it's my first interview ever in a throw.
Say word. I fuck with it, man. Now, what's the reasoning behind that? So
Muslim.
Break this down. Yeah,
I'm so Muslim.
When did you convert?
I took my shahada a long time ago. I just never mixed the two so much. Okay. But yeah, I took my shahada.
I like it, man. I kid you not. When I see you walk up, I said, that's what he's smooth. He came in smooth.
It's like we're gonna be different today.
Yeah, I mess with it. I mess with it. You know, so you in DC, you get with your business partner. Can you tell me what has been some of the downside of wanting to run your own music label?
People. You deal with people. Everybody has their own idea. Everybody has their own direction.
Yeah.
They what they want to do and how they want to do it. I've heard people tell me that they can run my situation better than I can, in comparison to making their own situation. You know what I'm saying? I've heard so many things. But yeah, like I say, the key ingredient is the people. I feel in life individually, when you want to do something, you get it done, you make it happen. But if what you want to do involves the people, then the people can get in the way of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an artist. So by me not being an artist, if the artist doesn't want to show up or the artist doesn't want to do it, then it's over. The show does not go forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
unless you have somebody in its place.
I mean, you can always replace a performer.
Yeah.
But you can't replace the headliner because they're there for the headliner.
That's right. There's a reason why they're headlining.
So, you know.
Yeah.
If the game is being played on that end, it's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Now, I know of, like I said, you know, Spark Dog, Breadwinner Kane. Of course, like I said, I like the young man, Red Vegas. What are some of the artists that you've been working with?
So, Breadwinner Kane, I've been working with Breadwinner Kane over half a decade now.
Yeah, I see. He got, yeah, that's more of a brother. That's family to you, right?
Yeah. We talk almost every day.
Yeah.
We outside tour. He's been on every single tour from the first one.
That's dope.
So yeah, a lot with that. Next will be Niecy J.
I heard of him. I seen him popping up. Oh.
Yeah. I've recently started doing a lot of work with an artist named Circle City Hustle.
Okay.
Out of Naptown.
Okay.
Also Riaga out of Denver.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Latin artist.
Okay.
I just took him to New York.
I think I just seen something about him too. I think you posted something up about him doing. I think he was doing. I don't know if it was reggaeton or some kind of right?
In Spanish.
Hey, see, yeah, I like your idea of what you're trying to not what you're trying to do. I'm trying to get that word "trying" out of my vocabulary.
To try is to fail.
Huh?
To try is to
fail. Yeah.
If you tried, you didn't get it done.
You ain't get it done. Yeah.
It was only an attempt.
Yeah. No, I like what you're doing.
Going down just for an attempt.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, nah, bro. Nah. You gotta make it happen. And
put
what
your
you
best foot forward.
Yeah, for real. No, but I see what you're doing. And that's why I was saying to you earlier about the universal thing. You're not closed-minded to bringing in, you know, the crowd from different areas, genres and stuff like that. It seemed like you open to working with anybody, long as they got that talent. You know. Now, what do you help to, you know, comb through the talent? Like when these artists are coming to you, you know, how do you comb through it?
So, a lot of people ask me that question, right? My process usually happens after an artist is already working with us.
Okay.
I don't usually find an artist prior to working with us.
Okay.
It's usually after an artist is already working with us. And now I see that they're serious. I see how they keep their word, how they work, how they operate, what do they do. Like, I get to see that part.
Right.
That's the part I'm looking for.
Right. That's dope.
I can care less to hear your music right now.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, there's so many individuals that are so talented but won't never go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You will be the babysitter to get them where they need to go, because they'll be so much of a problem.
Yeah, and they ain't got the drive either. So I know. I was just telling my homeboy, I said, to be honest, I know tons of artists. Music is there, but they don't got the drive. And now, to be honest, I feel like a lot of artists are very, I want to say prissy. I've had some artists tell me, in order for them to, you know, get ready or be ready to do things, you know, they have to receive certain things. You know, they need Skittles, packs of Skittles, specific water brands and shit like that. And I literally met an artist that was asking for this stuff. And when he asked for it, I told the young lady that was setting us up, nah, we're not doing that, you know, because then it become, what do you call it? He gets to tell other people, oh yeah, they good people, but I was telling them I needed this, I needed that. And then everybody gonna think this is how we fall in the line of getting our people to come sit down with us. I'm very organic, bro. I like to talk. I honestly just talk. I don't consider this even being really a interview, because I let you get what you need to get out. But I like conversing, man. I like, you know, just spilling certain things out, or just being able to talk to you, and then you say something that triggered me to ask you about the next thing I want to ask you about. I don't like those, you know, what kind of food you eat, you know?
So what is your reason why you do interviews?
Because I didn't get the right ones when I was coming up in the music industry.
Okay.
I was being asked stupid questions.
Okay.
I was sitting down and, you know, it got to the point where the only reason why I wanted to be interviewed is so that I could be on a camera freestyling. My thing is, if my name ever come up, I want somebody to be like, that motherfucker right there, the truth. He gave me something that I could relate to. And I know how, like, okay, he didn't get here, but where he left off at, I know where to go from there because he left me some jewels, you know? Or he said the right shit to make me wanna, you know, push more or go harder, you know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. I didn't have that. I heard interviews from people like Jay. When Jay said, there's a kid out there right now looking at my interview and he eating Cheerios, thinking about how he gonna fuck me up or how he gonna take my spot. He like, and that's what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for that kid, even though I'm gonna fuck him up when he get to this spot, you know, to this point. But little do he know, you got Drakes, you got the Lil Waynes, you got, you know, people that was coming up behind him. But that shit put a spark in those boys to say, you know what, I do want Jay's spot. Because I know it was for me. I started writing songs in a way where I was literally battling Jay. Like, in all the top 5 rappers, I was battling them. Not like going at them per se, but I was trying to do better flows, using my words differently, which is now why I'm sitting here interviewing people, because I don't have that inspiration anymore. Jay not out there doing it like that no more. You know, he talking about Picassos and shit. I ain't get to that. So I got to the point now where I'm like, yo, you know, there's so many dope artists, so many people that I want to bridge this gap between my type of artists and other type of artists. Like, for instance, my son, he listened to, what's the kid named? The XXXTentacion, right? I wasn't into his stuff. Man, it took for me one day to just be driving and a specific song came on of his that wasn't on the radio. That was so fucking hard. He was rapping. I said, who the fuck is this? This shit hard. And he told me who it was. I said, nah. Because the first thing I heard from the kid was him yelling and screaming on a song like he was dissing Drake. So to me, that didn't catch me. What caught me was his delivery on this one song, and I couldn't even tell that was the same kid. Then I started listening to Lil Uzi. Then I'm listening to Lil Yachty and certain shit like that because of that one artist had me. So I say, you know what? It's a bunch of artists out there that I need to pull my hood back from. Oh, I'm a 90s type of rapper. I'm a East Coast rapper. I'm a bar, like, lyrical, because I never was a lyricist. I just was a rapper, a dope rapper. And I still am, but as of right now, I get inspired by sitting down with people like yourself and seeing how y'all, like, the way you pulled up, nobody pulled up like that. I kid you, yo. G, I kid you not. Oh, I gotta call you G because I can't call you Gorgeous. No, but bro, nobody pulled up like that, man. I done sat down and spoke to Max. I spoke to some Pips. I spoke to the Dougs and Game. And nobody pulled up and said, I'm gonna come up in here and I'm gonna show me. I'm gonna give them me. I'm like, you came like you run yourself, like universal, open to the public, you know what I'm saying? And open arm to wanting to evolve. And that's the dope.
I have a question though, right?
Yeah.
Why is it a problem for the person that wants the Skittles?
You know why it's a problem for me? And I tell you the truth. The young lady that knew the person was around. She the one that pulled the interview off and said, oh, we need to interview him. And at the time, I was just interviewed a lawnmower man because he had a story. And I wanted to know his story, you know what I'm saying? So when I heard—
So you didn't care to have the interview?
I didn't really care for the interview.
Okay, so you can stop it right there. You didn't care for the interview. That's all it is.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying? See, the thing is, I tell people is like, is the decision personal or is it business?
You know
what I'm saying? Sometimes us sitting in the forefront of our own business and making decisions on behalf of our own business is a problem. You know what I'm saying? There should be representation for that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things that we complain about are so small that we would never even hear about it if we didn't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he would have told the assistant, hey, I need Skittles. She'd have been like, Skittles are $1. I'll have the Skittles here.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I have the Skittles for you. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But you like, what you mean Skittles? Why don't you make your own Skittles?
Yeah. But you know what's so dope about what you just did? And this is the business in you, the businessman in you. And the same young lady, she was telling me, she broke it down to me like that. And that's why we did the interview. Because I was like, and then I'm thinking from an artist, right? I'm thinking as an artist, I'm like, I ain't telling no, like, shit, I remember I had to go out there and hustle myself. I had my CDs in my pockets and, you know, vinyl. I went to go press on my shit and I'm asking people to interview me. I wasn't talking about no damn Skittles or I need weed for this and that. You know, I was happy to be interviewed. So I was a bit biased, you know what I mean? And when she broke that down to me, when I'm hearing what you said too, like, yeah, I think I did take that a bit personal. And I shouldn't.
Completely. The whole thing you took was personal.
Oh, yeah.
The whole stuff was personal. Everything you just said right now was personal. It all came from your experience.
Yeah. I
expected this man to be like you.
Yeah, see? And that's why I fuck with you, bro. I'm going to tell you not only that, this is stuff that I like doing this. This is what I do this shit for. When I can sit down with somebody from like yourself and get something from, soak something up from. Because I'm not just talking just to hear you. I'm talking to soak something up too. I'm learning, you know what I mean? And you've been doing your music thing for a while, and as a businessman, not as an artist, which I have been playing the artist seat. You know, I would like to be in your seat at some point and pull up with my shit like that. You know what I mean? So okay, so people, now, what's been the highest point of your career?
Highest point, like greatest accomplishment or something?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to identify, right? I've dealt with some great individuals in the industry. I've accomplished some great things independently. I've dealt with some of the biggest brands directly, independently.
Okay.
One thing I can say is it's been different to understand the power you hold when you are the director, when you have put in the work.
Okay.
You know, not to highlight no names, but it was definitely an experience to be able to spaz, you know what I'm saying, on a high level Universal member.
Okay.
And me being the person that held the power in the conversation, you know, because, you know, somebody is who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what we having a conversation about is a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we having a conversation about what I got going on, that's different.
Right.
Your voice is not so high over there.
Right.
Because you trying to convince me in comparison to me trying to convince you.
Right.
You know and so I've had some great experiences in essence of that. I feel like I've done so much on the independent side that, you know, it's that. I have got some advances on the music side.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, we're 100% independent. Okay. We have our own distribution platform. Run the back end. Okay. We have a publishing department. We have a tech side to our distribution side. We have 35 staff members nationwide. We have a CRM system.
That's dope, bro.
We got every single department that you would see would be needed for a corporation, from the legal side to the finance side. We cover all grounds. Next year makes year 10. I had made a post in the beginning of this year, and I was sitting in my office, and I was showing people the receipts everywhere and this and that, and I was like, we're into the music business. You know what I'm saying? This is why y'all see receipts everywhere. This is why y'all see this office. That's why y'all see all these contracts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is the business.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are not into the business, and that's the problem. So when something arises and people are requesting paperwork and requesting this and requesting that, don't nobody got none. They're like, paperwork for what?
For what?
Well, somebody just made a claim.
Yeah.
So if you want to go against the claim that was made,
you need your paper.
You know what I'm saying? You need to show what makes you who you are.
Yeah, your ownership or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, just recently the other day, some had led me to looking up It's Gorgeous Musique online and seeing how our SEO come up. And now I'm starting to see artists are starting to come up under It's Gorgeous Musique. And I know it takes a lot. It takes a lot for your label to start attaching itself to artists.
Right.
This is not nothing that we're doing.
Right.
So that's another thing. That's why I tell people, it's a difference. That's like, we got the blue check. Well, we got the blue check before you could buy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, I think we got a blue check in 2021 or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we got a blue check for the business.
Right.
Not no personal accounts.
Right.
So I tell people, like, yeah, you gotta understand the work, the effort, and the energy that has to be put into the SEO, to the community events, you know what I'm saying, to state relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we deal with the mall, we deal with the college. Like, there's a lot to, a business or a corporate brand doing stuff in that state. It's not just, oh, we doing good with business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what do you give back to the community? What is your donation? You know what I'm saying? Who are you tapping in with? You know what I'm saying? Who's coming through to connect with you because of what you're doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, we play a huge role in the Las Vegas market. We've done a lot in the DC market. We've done a lot of nonprofit events. We've worked with the police department. We've done a lot.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So, future-wise, like I said, I know you got this tour coming up. What are you expecting out of It's Gorgeous Musique within the next 5 years? Like, what are you expecting out of it?
Man, it's a list.
5
years?
Yeah, I know that, people don't look at record labels the way they used to. When the Rockefellers and the Death Row.
See, I look at us as a hub.
Okay. And that's dope.
Not as a record label.
That's dope.
It's Gorgeous Musique is a record label.
Right. But I see you got other things.
It's Gorgeous, I look at that as a hub.
Okay.
It's fashion, film, sports, and music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as a hub.
Okay.
So everything else, like even radio, you know what I'm saying? So we've been doing that.
Radio. Yeah, I peeped that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, like I said, I've seen what you guys are doing.
When we did radio, I'm talking about from the licenses, to the apps, to everything.
Yeah, I seen that. I was.
So yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to develop guidebooks, handbooks, policies, contracts, procedures. Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of people involved. It takes a lot of yays and nays, a lot of understanding, a lot of reviewing, you know what I'm saying, a lot of adjustments. I tell everybody, if you watch us as the years are going on, even down to each individual thing, you will see how things change, how things upgrade, how things advance. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, like, you know what I'm saying, I've been on the road the entire year. So I started off the year with doing a tour with the Coalition DJs. We did a 3-city tour on the East Coast. Then I did a tour on the West Coast with the Southwest Alliance. We did Denver, Colorado, and Phoenix. Now I'm doing a 5-city tour with Scott. After this is up, I'm going to LA for BT, doing some film situations down there. Then we're going to shoot a movie.
Okay.
Then we start the We Outside tour. That's 39 days in July. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, like, what's key for me is no distractions. I don't like to hear stuff much that just don't have nothing to do with what I got going on. Like, if people got a conversation, I just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't even need to take in y'all conversation, y'all details, nothing. Like, all that's a distraction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think people understand how mentally stable you got to be to do that. It's even like with arguments these days. But as soon as I see, like, if I could sense bad taste or maybe like body language or anything, I remove myself. What you consider to be good talent or, you know, something to push behind, you guys get behind it and you work it like they used to call it like an umbrella. So what you would say, what people most
so with music, right? A lot of times people miss that the majors, they're only looking for quality. You know what I'm saying? And when I say quality, it's not always, oh, this artist, this artist, that. It's just the quality, like the quality of the sound. Because there's so many new sounds being made. There's so much new music coming out. There's so many new ways, new genres.
Right.
For you for you to be the gatekeeper to say that this song isn't it, you're in the way.
Yeah, you blocking. So look, now let's get back to that. Let's touch on that for a minute. Because I got this thing where people always say I had a dope white boy. I think it was dope. I'm talking about like, but not dope to where he had his own fan base. I'll put it to you like that. Very laid back, cool. Thought, you know, we was talking Mac shit. And he, you know, always wearing a cane. You would have thought he was a black pimp or something. And people just didn't understand his music. Almost to the point where he was getting discouraged. And I say, hey man, don't you start that shit. I say, yo, cause you got your own crowd. You got your own fan base. Work that shit. So I always felt like, first of all, I don't like the gatekeeping shit. I can't stand. That's why I tell people, even though, like I was saying earlier, certain specific music ain't my type. For me,
why don't you like gatekeeping?
I don't like gatekeeping because I feel like it stopped the production of talent to come out. I feel like you know, some people might hear 3 songs from a person and say, oh, I don't like that, you know, but he might have a 6 song or somewhere in 20 songs that somebody else, or them 3 songs you might not like.
What's the definition of gatekeeping?
I think gatekeeping is when you are allowance of, well, not allowance. I would say not allowing somebody to move further within whatever they're doing. You know, it could be like I'm an electrician on another.
Who doesn't gatekeep?
Who doesn't gatekeep? I don't think nobody doesn't gatekeep. That's the thing.
All right, well, you can finish talking about gatekeeping there.
Yeah, because everybody gatekeeps. I feel like everybody because I feel like if you had a certain cologne, and
you the same thing you just highlighted right now, you did to Exhibition.
I know. That's what I was saying. And that's what I was saying. Even with that, that's why I was like, when he put me onto it, that's why I was like, not actually, that's the reason why I started the radio station. I bought into the radio station because of that very reason. And I learned I taught myself to not be on that shit. Because I was on my 90s shit. I was on my Nas, J, Big, Pop shit. I didn't want to hear shit else but them, Wu-Tang, and some other people. You know, I was early Future.
Your gatekeeping was built on this.
Yeah. It was on my own, what I liked. And what I had to start understanding is it's not about what I like. And
why not?
We could connect because I feel like that's a personal thing. Like we said earlier, that's a personal thing. That's my personal liking. It don't mean like the people that like, I can't get in the car and just turn on only shit that I like and it's 4 people in the car. I feel like for me, I'm a people's person. So whatever I play in my car, I'm a Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah. What's your sign?
I'm Sag.
Sag. All right. But you I'm telling you, your demeanor and everything, bro. I
find a lot of times that the same thing that people complain about They actually do. They just don't hear their actions as the problem, like highlighting the problem.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And so that's the part that I like to bring into the equation.
Yeah, you have
when it is when I'm talking to somebody is the same things you're highlighting because they're I don't like when somebody does this. I don't like when somebody does. You know what I'm saying? But the same people that complain be the same people that's doing it.
Hey.
But see, sometimes I just don't feel like, waking the people up. Like, this where you at, this where you at.
Yeah. And I
don't want to bring you down from where you
right. But no, like you was just saying about how, not putting that conversation is over there, you'll get up and get away from it because it ain't about you. Right. So
what's that called?
Prevention. For me.
Prevention. Prevention comes from what your grandma used to always tell you growing up.
I had a couple things.
Mind your business.
Right?
Yeah. Prevention came from grandma telling you to mind your business. So when somebody was talking about something that didn't have anything to do with you stepped off. You like, that ain't my business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When you sitting somewhere and you bobbing your music and somebody just looked to the left and said, "You suck ass." Woo, you like, let me go and get up. Because this ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it was talking to me, I'll be responding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got nothing to do with me, so I just get out the way.
Yeah.
Prevention. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
do you think people have a problem with prevention or preventing?
I think people got a problem with just minding their business. Like people today, the level of input is at its all-time high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me sharing with you my opinion is at its all-time high. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people, like, the reason why I don't care to give my opinion is because there's no fact behind my opinion.
Right.
And if I have the facts to it, then now I'm assessing whether or not you even care what the fact of it is.
Yeah.
Because you might not even care what the fact is. So now I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
It's not gonna benefit me to get you to see the truth.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't want to see it.
Especially if you gotta argue this shit or break it down. I feel like anytime you gotta break things down to somebody after your first initiative statement, it becomes a thing where, okay, you're not really trying to hear what I'm saying.
Is it that, or is it that maybe it's a higher level than I'm prepared for, so I didn't actually be able to take it in? Maybe I wasn't able to think on your plateau, so I was trying to take you in. Can you break it down some more, please?
Well, see, I look at it like this. If that's the case, then
we keep looking at everything so personal.
You think so? Yeah, I got it. It might be. It might be. Because
my sister tells me this all the time.
No, but you might be on
this.
Yeah, you might be.
Like, just because you got it, don't mean that I got it.
Yeah, you might have to break it down.
Yeah, it might take me. That's why I process things different than you.
That's why arguments start with your girl or whomever, because of shit like that. Prevention.
Yeah, and you know what I learned from prevention of arguments? It take two, right?
They definitely do.
You know it's gonna be an argument off of the first statement.
Right.
I ain't even responding.
Right. But shit, if you don't respond, it's a problem too.
You responding is what creates the problem. The argument don't become an argument till you respond.
Yeah, until you respond. That's when the argument gets out of hand.
It don't start rah.
Yeah.
Because it starts off as a conversation.
Right.
That I want you to see it my way.
Right. And
you don't agree?
Yeah.
Oh, so now you don't agree. So when you don't agree, now we argue.
Now we got issues. Because you ain't agreeing with what I say.
So when you like my New York niggas, when you sitting there, you like, yo, okay. Oh
yeah.
It's fire. That's fire. You know what I'm saying? That sound lit, bro. So you just agreeing
just to be agreeing.
Because you know that the moment that I'm like, hey bro, who told you that was cool? What you mean? Like, so you mean to tell me that this ain't fire? It ain't fire. You don't got no good taste.
See, And I'm gonna tell you, right? You remember when I was telling you about even with the gatekeeping shit. So I had to teach myself, you know, if I hear something that's not really my type of shit, or something that I don't agree with, I mind my business a lot of times because I don't need, you know, it ain't on me. If somebody's saying I'm the shit, can't nobody whoop my ass, can't nobody beat me, I'm the dopest rapper alive, it ain't my business, even if I'm an artist, to be like, no, you're not, I am. Cause that ain't got nothing to do with me, you know what I'm saying? Pump your shit, pop your shit, do what you do. So my thing is, I always been the person to been like, you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta pipe yourself up and let it be known this how you feel about who you are as a person, whatever the conversation is. If I feel like it's gonna affect me, I might say something, but if it ain't affecting me, I ain't got shit to say. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
A lot of times that whole element of affecting me is like a figment of your imagination.
Think so? So tell me why. Tell me why you feel that way.
Everything's a problem because you see it that way. If somebody is not physically in your space, physically doing something to you,
right,
then everything else is a figment of your imagination.
Because basically they're not there doing what they're speaking on. It's like somebody saying, oh.
It's like somebody telling me, I could tell you directly, nigga, I'm better than you, nigga.
Right.
Like, all right. What's wrong with that? You supposed to feel like that, King.
Yeah, you supposed to
feel like you better than me. You supposed to feel like you bigger than me.
Right.
You supposed to feel like you next. What else?
What'd you say, what else?
Nah, nigga, like.
Yeah, because
it's not an argument.
Right. It's prevention.
So
you just prevent.
When you don't have disagreement, you have less conversation.
Right.
Because a lot of people are speaking for somebody to disagree because they want to debate, they want to argue, they want to prove and show how whatever they talking about is better than what you talking about.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't feed into it,
oh yeah,
now you like,
yeah. Well, now they looking at you that way. Bro, I've never found myself in a situation where I couldn't hold myself accountable to adding on to the bullshit. I know I've done that before, younger, you know, just, and I think that's with all of us, right? We get involved with shit, but you learn from it, and you decide, you know, okay, I know how to play this situation the next time that comes up, anywhere, everywhere, you know. This it's a bigger picture to what you're seeing and everything you say. So when I look at things like that, man, you know, I could always appreciate what the actual picture that I'm seeing is until I like to follow it and just continue watching. So I to be honest with you, you gotta not I don't like to call myself a follower, I would say a supporter, you know, in me. Cause I dig what the fuck you got going on, you know, and I like what you stand on too. So that shit is appreciative. Each man in himself is a king on his own, you know, and I walk in a room with a bunch of, whether they're a bunch of gangsters or a bunch of just, what do you call it, geeks that's just into tech shit. I'm gonna walk in that room and I'm gonna get on the same level as them and make sure that I can hear what they saying clearly and try to take in something. I soak up game. That's my thing, man. I want to learn, you know. And that's what I was telling you earlier. I want to learn. It's something that I don't keep a lot of niggas around me. I do everything solo. So when I go around people, I sit around people, something that you might say, I'ma take it in because I want to walk my path with something that I learned from you today. You know what I'm saying? So
get something from me today.
Yeah.
Get a real understanding with you. Get a real understanding with your thoughts, with your words, with what you want to do. Planning your things out. Being more honest with your actions. You know what I'm saying? Could lie to anybody, don't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you need to study from others is how they thought.
Okay. How they thought.
That's it.
You heard what this man said?
That's it. Don't stop looking at what they did. Everybody be like, this person did
What
this.
they thought.
This person did this. This person did this. Like all that's assembly line shit.
Yeah.
Stop looking at the actions of what they did and start looking at where their minds was at when they was experiencing these moments and these situations, when they was going through these ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? When they was dealing with their families, you know what I'm saying? When they was dealing with lack of support, when they didn't have nobody that believed them, when the finance ran out. A lot of people don't understand that the railroad train, they ran out of money building the railroad train. They went bankrupt building the railroad train.
That shit.
The white folks did.
They had to clear that up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it ain't, you know, ain't nobody exempt. Well, how many times they say Trump didn't went bankrupt? Yeah, you know, you can, the artist is Picasso.
Yeah.
You can paint whatever picture you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember, we just painting the picture. What's actually going on is something different.
Something different.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has experienced this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what you need to understand is how you should feel while you experiencing it. A lot of times you be experiencing something and then what you do? You go to prayer, you go to God, and you say, man, give me a sign. Tell me something, man. Why am I experiencing this? Why is this going on? And this and that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go look at some of these documentaries and listen to how these people thought and how they felt when, you know, they was in the garage and they was trying to convince somebody to get them, you know, millions of dollars to get behind their project and their idea. Or when Facebook came to this college dorm and was trying to present this to these 4 people and they couldn't get everybody to bite. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about, you know, where a person's mind was at when they went to those things. You know, in reference to the experiences, everybody gonna have their own experience. Everybody's experience gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have different losses, different wins. Some people work their whole life till they take off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people never take off because they don't quit that job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people be in a position where they just wind up losing so many different situations and opportunities because they had to go to work. So they never get a chance to get rid of that job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true talk. Now, before we get out of here, right, I need a couple things from you. I know I keep talking about the We Outside tour. But
Part 5.
Yeah, but I'm sure you got other things going on. What else you got going on right now?
We Outside tour Part 5 is coming up. Again, 39 days, 20 cities. Yeah. July 4th to August 10th from Florida all the way to California. That alone is gonna be over 100 promoters, all type of stuff. Like, that's gonna be crazy. After that, well, before that, we reshooting Men of Business. I wrote 5 movies.
Okay.
One of the ones we already shot, we shot in DC, Men of Business. We're gonna reshoot it in LA. This June coming up. I mean, well, next month.
Right.
Outside of that, in reference to anything major, ending the year, I have a few events I might be involved in and things going on, but my main thing to finalize this year is positioning the whole company and brand, because next year makes year 10. And I tell people, a lot of companies don't make it past a couple of years, let alone get to year 10. We've had brick and mortar for 7 years. And we've been in business for 10, and we've ran across the country, originally started in DC and expanding to Vegas. We filed taxes every single year since the first one.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
and it's official, man.
Yeah, business licenses and all that.
This is fully official
business.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm coming for something way stronger, way heavier for year 10. So not too much to finalize this year. But next year will be the 6th annual to the We Outside tour. Will be like the 3rd or 4th year for South by Southwest. So all these different things, we're planning on how we're gonna make sure that they're so much bigger.
Nice.
The youth program, I think, is going to be the 5th year for the youth program.
Okay.
So yeah, all of these things. So we've been doing the graduation every single year at the Boulevard Mall. It's one of the oldest, biggest malls in Las Vegas. We participated in the Rev Fest. I want to say at least 3 years in a row. That's a festival that's done by UNLV.
Okay.
The college out there. So we constantly keep adding things from the radio station's involvement, college involvement, mall involvement, high school's involvement, other nonprofit organizations. So yeah, it's like the youth program for 2026 here.
Yeah.
Our annual for 2026. I want to spend like 75 to 100,000 just for those 3 days for that weekend in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I'm talking about police escorts. Yeah, I want the whole entire company and brand to come to Las Vegas for that weekend.
That's dope.
And we got over 700 artists on our platform.
Come on, man.
So
come on. That's
yeah.
dope. Now, for the brother sitting on the opposite side of this camera, or the young lady watching us, and they hearing all this shit we talking today, what would you like for them to get out of this? Because I know what you told me. Think about what they thought, what they was thinking at the time. Now, what kind of jewel will you drop for them?
The one thing that I would give anybody who's watching this, whether you're a label, whether you're an artist, or whether you exec, what I want anybody to take from this interview is, y'all need to come fuck with this Gorgeous Musique. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all need to do. That's what I want y'all to take from that. You know what I'm saying?
What I will say though,
yeah, for real.
What I will say, right? Not knowing none of the actual artists and just doing my homework, it seemed like all of y'all are family. You know, like I was telling you, you know.
That's the hashtag.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems so.
I feel like everybody preaches separation. I'm big on us coming together.
Right.
Even from brands, when I go to different cities and states, I feel like I also put water on fires. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get a whole lot further when we be able to bridge the gaps.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's not about me being bigger than you.
Right.
You being bigger than me. Like I said, come rock with me. I ain't say come under me, come sign.
Right.
Come rock with me, come work with me. You know what I'm saying? The biggest problem we have is everybody wants to be the biggest. Everybody wants to be in control of everything, but we fail to realize is that we still got to work together. And the thing is, we wind up working with people that don't even respect us, because people that will, we don't give enough respect to them to feel like they can even do nothing for us. So we go work with people that don't even respect us and don't even look at us or blink an eye twice.
Yeah. Okay. I think y'all got a good ears full.
My man said, you know, when it comes to, you know, the podcast, when y'all go to these platforms, platforms, y'all don't say this, y'all don't say that.
Yeah.
But when y'all come to him, y'all say this, y'all say that. When y'all go to DistroKid, y'all ain't even talking to nobody. Y'all just gonna pay the money.
That's it.
Upload it. That's it.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, start being mindful of the people you want to do business with.
That's right.
And be interested in working with people that are interested in talking to you.
That's right.
Minimum.
That's right.
Interested in talking to you, meeting you, and checking you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, majority of the people you spend your money with,
I'm really give a fuck.
You never even talked to before.
They don't know nothing about you. They don't know nothing about you, bro.
This is it, though.
Yeah.
Y'all tap in, man.
Yeah, see?
It's on anything.
Yeah, on anything. You type that in, it's popping up.
Yeah, phone.
It ain't hard. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We open 7 days a week. You can go knock on the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can go pull up. You can call. We got landline phones. You know what I'm saying? You can go reach out to any of our staff members. You can go to our staff page.
Mm-hmm.
You can see all that information. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with us, man.
Yo, I want to say I appreciate you. I had a good time. You know, it's been a minute since I've been able to sit and just talk, you know, and kick it with somebody and actually be able to go back and forth and just have a conversation. Like I said, I don't really care for interviews. I like to converse. You know what I mean? I do, you know, try to get the information that you need to get out there. And this is the point where I say, if there's any information that you want out there, put it out there. I'm gonna make sure it's broadcasted across my platforms. But besides the information, I just want to say thank you for kicking it with me. You know what I mean? I greatly appreciate that. I love the energy, my brother. I'm like that was it for me. That was it for me. I ain't did an interview in like a good couple of months. And because of the same thing what we just told them, and it's not really about, you know, what they can do for me. I don't care about, you know, what an interview could do for me. Honestly, to be honest, I'm really into this shit because I love hip hop. I love music. So when I sit down and I talk to people, I do it, and I wanted to get out there authentically. That's why I sit down and with no paper and just go off of what I read about you or learned about you, because I'm learning it while I sit down. I live in the moment. You know what I mean? And that's my thing. I want to live in the moment, enjoy it right then and there, record it for everybody else to get the feeling. Because I remember when you Raekwon Purple Tape came out, and shit. I remember when Dre Chronic came out. I remember when Snoop came out. When certain shit came out, we didn't have these cameras. You know, it was that feeling that you had right then and there, what you're seeing happening in the hood, in the neighborhood. I mean, just like around you, you know, whether it was niggas riding bikes and they got the motherfucking, the Sony little the beat machine. I mean, you know, the little radio bumping whatever song it was, but you knew at that moment what it felt like. And so that's the type of shit that I try to get back out there in the atmosphere. So they're gonna feel everything that you sat on that couch telling. And that's what I want for them. You know, that brings me joy for y'all to be able to get that from this young man. It's gorgeous. It's Gorgeous Musique. And he got all kinds of other shit going on, man. Clothing brand, everything. This brother is moving, man. And I ask for y'all to go follow, you know, on all the social medias. Like he said, you can find all you gotta do is put in It's Gorgeous. And you're gonna find everything you need to find. But tap in with the young man. And y'all know what I do. I'm quite a one big deal, D.L.E radio. It's us, it's we. We out here in the middle of, you know, Atlanta with all the noise, banging, trucks clanging and shit. But we out here kicking it, man. We gonna leave y'all with that. Do you want to give them any socials? Just, you know.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Just like that. Spelled exactly like that, too.
ITS. Don't forget the ITS.
Gotta put the ITS in it.
Don't forget the ITS.
Well,
if you're interested in seeing what we got going on, Google It's Gorgeous in that. You can see the shoes, you can see everything.
Everything, yeah.
It is.
Oh, he got things bubbling for y'all. Y'all just got to tap in with the brother. All right? So, y'all know what to do. We got the pool party coming up soon.
July 5th, coming back for the tour. So remember that.
Okay, I got you.
July 5th, Atlanta, coming back for the tour.
I got you. If y'all got any areas I could set up at, I'll set up and just, you know, come out, kick it with the people.
So like I said, we online.
Yeah, we locked in. We locked in. My G, it's gorgeous.
Appreciate you.
Stand there, let them see that, man. Let them see that, man. This man came out here to play for real with you. You heard?
Listen, I did not.
Not to play. He ain't come out to play, but he came out to show. Listen, man, y'all know what it is. Quite a one big deal. We out of here. Yeah.